Nope.
So speaking of not much free time, you recently joined Cory Waller and the Wicked Things. That's a band that started last year, and you guys have been playing some pretty high-profile shows, it seems.
Yeah, so that was an interesting turn of events. Cory and I had been playing together. Cory Waller, he's been on the podcast before, I believe, too.
Mm-hmm.
Him and I played together for the better part of like 10, 12 years or so here, off and on. And like with our other main band, J. Clyde. And so, it was just one of those things where, like, as time progresses and people are all kind of going off in their different directions of life, like, we just kind of recognized that, like, it was time to do something just a little bit different. And, that's where this band just kind of was born, kind of out of the not the ashes of J. Clyde, but in the aftermath of J. Clyde. We set out and we found a couple other players to work with, and I tell you what, for the first year out, I was beyond pleased for what we were able to do and accomplish. I remember talking with Cory about it one night, and I was just like, yeah, we're going to start this new band. It's something different. People have no idea what it's about, and we'll be lucky if we get to do a few shows here and there. But and then we put it out there, and the booking started coming in, so we were pretty lucky.
Yeah, I think some people, when they figured out that it was like, oh, this is, almost an extension of some sort of like J. Clyde. It's like, oh, this is parts of J. Clyde band, and those guys. You guys played a lot of shows, like same deal. A lot of high profile shows. You'd play those street dances. That's like, are there thousands of people here? Because I think there's thousands of people here. Like you'd play those big street dances and stuff. So,
sometimes, and then some days there's only like 30 people, and they're all standing around the bar, like, and they could give a crap less about what you're doing. But
yeah,
you take the good with the bad. So.
Yeah, totally been there, done that. That was like my first experience this year, like playing with Jesse Wilson. Like we played so many shows, and of course they can't all be bangers, but sometimes it's just like this place is packed, and other times it's like there's 6 people here. Like,
yeah,
okay.
And what I don't know, like. So we had a couple of interesting shows this year where, and in general, this has been kind of the story of my year. We've had several shows where there have been a ton of people, and yeah, we had fun. It's hard not to when there's a lot of people there. But like we've also had some shows where the crowd was not that big, but my favorite thing in the world is, and it comes back to, I always say, I would rather play for like 20 people who are listening to you and are really picking up on what you're doing, like catching the nuance. And then they come up to you after the show and they're like, hey, you guys, we could tell you put some time and effort into this. Like, you guys sound professional, blah, 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 blah. But I would rather play for 20 people who are like that than 1,000 people and like nobody's listening.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
It's so crazy. Like I can get such a high and such a drive off of just a very select few people who, if they're engaged and listening, versus a ton of people any day. So, it's like I say, you take the good with the bad, and you just hope you have fun along the way.